Well, hello. This is Jolene with the Jewel Design, and we're back. Oh, I'm so excited. I actually want to give myself like half a day off, and I came right back at it. Though I know you're seeing this a week later, so hopefully you caught me last week. And I'll catch you up real quick in case you didn't, but this is part 2 of our 2-page sketchbook journal spread, pocket edition here, as we are using the Touch of Romance kit. We're using the newer pocket tags and stuffed envelope-y pocket looks, and we are making just a really pretty little spread of all these stuffed pockets. And I'm just crafting along with you guys, craft and chat, as hopefully I will, so what do I do? Yeah, probably the end of the video. If you're really curious about what was going on, you can zoom back to last week's Thursday journal with me and see where we started. But, you know, I don't know if there's too much difference here, but I'll give you a quick rundown of what we've got going. So we nailed down some background papers. We're going to put this larger tag, which was the first rendition that you guys got, a smaller one that would fit within a journal. But I, of course, had to do my test run and realized it was pretty big. So we're going to play with that since these are larger pages. That's going to go on that side. But last week we got our sideways scallop tuck tag that we went ahead and put together. And yeah, even though I glued it, that plastic is a little temperamental. So anyway, we went ahead and put a clear pocket on the front here, put the tag inside. I left it to go beyond the page, so it is a tab into my sketchbook, so I can find it really quickly. And when I get time ready, I'm going to put spring of 2022, and this is going to be sort of my end of the month birthday spread that I'm going to write all my notes in, like I did with Halloween on our first set. So we did this one. Now we also made it a flip. We put a hinge on it. We put a pretty piece of eco dye paper, which we did use a washi tape to reinforce it because it was ripping the moment we, started splitting the moment we folded it. But I did put a little notch here to make it easy to open up. And this is going to give me a wonderful writing space about a special moment, something I wanted to cherish, of course, and journal about. Since there's not going to be a whole lot of journaling, there are going to be some spots where we're going to put tags and tags and cards in. And I think I have one other paper-based area, so I can really journal about my birthday week, which will start with a fun dinner the weekend before, and will end with a mani-pedi luncheon with my girlfriend the weekend after, since my birthday is smack in the middle of the week at the end of the month. So, how fun is that? So anyway, we have this. So this is open on the outside, so at some point I may decide to stencil on here or decorate with some leftover ephemera, so it's really just cute, but doesn't hinder my ability to write on the other side. So with the hinge here, it opens it up to where we can see a pretty journal card that we did some stenciling to the back of, and another tag for journaling that we may I may decorate up, on the final, do some fun lace things, maybe decorate the front, and then it lets me draw, of course, write on the back of both of these. And because we use that new pocket, I put it on its side because it has that little notch. I can see the card, holds everything in place. It gives me another place to decorate, and we are going to definitely put a label sticker of some sort here, and another fussy cut here we were talking about last week, where I cleaned this up a little bit more and distressed it. This would be really pretty on the bottom edge of a writing space that we will put right here. So I will go looking through my fussies and see all my fussy cuts and ephemera if we have a larger tag to put here. If not, I may pull from my first original bordered label tags. There were some really pretty pale colors, that pale pink, pale blue, sage, all that stuff, and some burgundy, not burgundies, beiges, creams that may work really well here since I have some good sized ones. So I'll have to look for some of those. So we'll do something here at the end. So some of the minor details will get done, probably off camera. I'll get it all decorated. I'll get it all pretty, minus the writing, and I will probably do a reveal for you guys in about. I don't know if I'll get it done, if I'll get everything done before next week's digital reveal, but I may pop up real quick for a quick, short, under 10-minute video, and we'll do a quick journal with me reveal next week, if nothing else. So we'll see how far we get today. Now, then, this is what we got done for sure, which of course we got interrupted, and I still put an hour on the card. But when we were talking as we were finishing up last week, I went ahead and started trimming things up and fine-tuning it. I went ahead and distressed around edges of areas and labels that I wanted to do a collage with. So we are going to collage this front piece because I really think that, for me, I don't know if I want 2 windows top to bottom. So as I mentioned, I did not do any writing on this window on purpose. So you could either collage over it or lightly even just cluster in the corner, and it'd be okay to have this open as a white writing space. You didn't have to turn it into a window like we did underneath. I was going to put cut this out. Wouldn't this be a great window? I put it underneath in the instructions that this would be a great window pocket, but I did not write it on top. So you have the ability to choose how creative you wanted to be with this. So I went ahead and distressed the edges in the top sections where I felt it might peek through, that our collaging could peek through, and I wouldn't feel like I was having white to pop through. But otherwise, we're going to use these lovely bits that I distressed that we're going to stuff in here along with the big journal card from Jane Austen. And we're going to just sort of, stuff it in here. Now, this whole kit right here is going to be the inspiration and the kickoff to next week's reveal, which I'm so stoked about. It's almost done. Hopefully to have 3 of these scalloped window envelopes. I don't want to call it an envelope or a pocket. It's sort of a bit of both. I think it's going to be a scalloped window pocket notebook, if I say that right. I know it's sort of weird because I'm going to make this into a cute little mini set of its own, a very standalone, and like I said, it's almost finished. And we're going to make it a standalone kit like I did with the mini file folders last year. If you've been watching me for the past year, you know what I'm talking about. I revealed, I think, at least 3 videos worth and showed off, of course, I think in... not last week, but the week before's video, I did put a link to the series of the mini file folder kits, which are cute little kits to make all kinds of small journals, greeting cards, little notebooks, all these little things you could do with them to make great gifts. So this year, though, I think we're going to do something different. We're going to do, like I said, a stuffed scallop pocket with a notebook attached to the back. So that is going to be fun, and I cannot wait to reveal that to you guys next week. But this week, we're going to finish this one. So, let's get started. So, I'm going to take... let's see, how do we want to do this? I sort of like working on top of this, but I don't want to get things in the way, and I don't want to be reaching over too much. So, we'll give this a shot. And yes, I still have a boo-boo on my finger. I burnt myself setting up the fire, moving a piece of wood in the fireplace, and tapped it. Well, because of where it is, I keep rubbing on it, and I keep splitting it open, because it's just a weird dry spot right here. So, yes, I'm still, wearing and tearing through all that. So, we'll see. And the nails are holding up, so that's always good. So, okay, so we're going to move. We're going to sort of collage on the top first. So that way I think I get it all fine-tuned. And then we will glue around the edges on top of this. Decide if we want to do any. I'm trying to debate whether I want to corner this one. And then we'll glue it down. Okay, that's my thought process right now. How are you all doing? I know since last week, all kinds of things, right? There's no reveal this week. Since I'm working on this next project, there wasn't a reveal. That was last week reveal. Last week we had the black and white kit reveal, the Roses in Paris, which I'm hoping you all are enjoying. It's sort of a part 2 or a second piece to the black and white kit I did last year. So if you watch the black and white reveal, I do refer back to the black and white kit I did in the summer. And then just before my 1-year anniversary, I was teasing that black and white kit, or just revealed that black and white kit. And then, so the new black and white kit is Roses in Paris. So that was last week, with a bunch of little goodies the week before that. So the newest kit will be next week. I know it feels weird to have I try to give you guys sort of 2-week breaks in between all these things. Though, I know this is a little weird. I'm a little ahead of schedule when I'm filming this, but I might have some new embellishments out. I know I was working on a number of single sheet embellishments, small ones, in the process of working on all of these. So I don't remember if I've actually released them. If I have, I will put them in the description below. If not, I will give you guys a shout out on next week's reveal for sure on what the new little things are. But if you're following me on my Crafters of a Doodle Design Facebook, if you're following me on Instagram, then you'll know what and when I put those things up. I don't know if I like that or not. I'm trying to debate, do I like the whole... I know, it seemed perfect when I did it earlier. Isn't that funny? When I did it earlier, I liked it last week. Or not last week, but, well, last week for you guys when you're watching me do this. Of course, it's only been a day, but yet I already forgot because I moved it. Let's see, do I want to... I'm so, like, weird about this. And I don't really want to see the borders too much. That's also why I inked everything. So that we had some cream. I just think this one blends right in is the problem. I love that, so it pops out, but that just blends to the background. Eek. Maybe that's my problem. It just blends. Okay, what else do I have? I have a name, but that's more cream. I do have a saying, but that's also going the wrong direction. Those were pieces I added at the last minute. When I did resize the pocket on the next page, I added some more doohickeys because we had, gaps now. It's not very big, but I wonder if we went across the bottom and then I could put the flowers across the top. Do we do her? I'm trying to see which stamp I want to do. I hate to do more flowers. More flowers on flowers is just more cream. I feel like we need color, but I don't think that's really any more color than we had before. I would have to put, if I put that there and put that on top. The bottom, the top, or the edge. Then I'm going to have a really big gap with those. Well, that's not, oh, you know what? I was going to do book page too. Well, maybe. Okay. Maybe that's a... Put that there and there. Put this up here. I didn't mind this being at an angle because that's the joys of... I'm trying not to leave these to overlap because I only have so much space here. So that every time this flips open, I don't want it to catch on the leaves. So if I use that at an angle over here and I put some book page behind it, which is why I pulled this out, that'll sort of help. That's a big journal card, which will probably get used later. I'm trying to see if I had anything small that wasn't just more cream. Let's see. I was looking at my journal cards real quick. But I mean, I could put the yellow next to that. And some book page behind it. That might work. Okay, this is what happens when you do it. And then you're like, that's not quite what I want. Which one do I want? The dark one or the light one? That one's top and bottom. That's side to side. We're going to go up and down with it. So let's do this one. Alright. Let me cut it out sort of haphazardly. I know, so bad. But that way I can get myself back on camera here. Oh my goodness. Well, this is what happens on the fly. Which is why these are definitely 1 hour each. Because I'm actually working through it with you guys and not just, I'm thinking about it. I'm not just thinking about it. I'm thinking, let's get somebody else in there besides flowers. So let's do her because she has a little bit more of a kick. And she'll pull from some of the colors that are going to get pulled that are going to be underneath. Alright, which at least most of that stuff is small. Oh, well, hopefully you guys are having a good second full week in March. That the weather has either warmed up or cooled down, depending. I think most people are still in snow and cold. Like I said, we had 4 days when I left you guys last week. We were going to go 4 days in with a bunch of stuff. Of course, though, I'm filming ahead of the time, so I can't tell you for sure how that worked out. Eek! I don't know how they do it. Well, Gail films every day, and you may see something that was a week ago, 2 weeks ago. I mean, that lady films way ahead now. Well, sometimes. I can't say. She'll film way ahead so she can have some downtime, and then it sort of catches up again, right? So let's distress that. And then I want to... We're going to hole punch these to give it some more character. I did enlarge these. Now, when I did the Blue Victorian kit, I made these holes extremely small, and I felt so bad. Oh my gosh. They were so little. And don't get me wrong, I have the crocodile does work for that. There was a smaller one in the crocodile. Oh, you're sticking too. What the heck? Oh no, it's just me. The crocodile does work. And, I Oh, that is coming right through, isn't it? Okay. I feel like it's sticky now. It's weird. And in the crocodile memory keeper, the tiny side does work within there, within a reason. And so this one is a standard hole punch. It is a little bigger than the hole, but the hole gives me an idea of where to start. So it's totally up to you how much you want to do it. Like, this one is really, you know, probably too big. But so I think the bigger size of the crocodile, we call it the crocodile, but we are hole punch and eyelet crocodile piece has the two sizes, and if you have the blue Victorian, I think it is, pieces, they are definitely, what is this? Yeah, this is We Are. So the We Are American Crafts, I don't even know the wording on this one. I just know it's the kit. Gorgeous kit, all here. But the smaller size, these both work. I should have done it. The two sizes do work. What is 3/4 on one side, or 3/16 on one side, and then it's 3/8 or something on the other. Let's see, what is it? They say on both sides. Oh, 1/8 on one side and 3/16 on the other. So this 3/16 is definitely the bigger side. And that would have been better for what I'm doing right now. The blue Victorian stamps are much smaller, and this lovely little, what is it? What did we say? 1/8 definitely works in that little spot. So sorry. It is a little bit tricky, but it's fun because I had scissors, but they don't quite fit perfectly either. So what can you do? So I just took a standard hole punch right now, hole puncher, old school, and went inside and used the holes as a guide, I guess. And they're not perfect. It's just more for spacing, I guess. Let me get the edges off. I'm trying not to make a mess all over my desk, which I probably should, so that you guys can hear me and see me and stress. But I was just trying to get the as much of the white edges off as possible, if I can. But we're just going to quickly distress this, which I realized, oh, that was bad. Of course I do that. I'm starting to shred my thing again. I do not keep enough ink on my inkers. I suck out every last ounce of ink to distress an edge. I don't know why. I guess I don't like wasting anything or overdo it and then I end up with too much. So these guys, I went pink around the flowers. I went green around the leaves, if I could, just to sort of give it some dimension, but not to be anything too much. I realize I missed a spot, or feel like I missed a spot. I did sort of kiss cut this to a point. I didn't do a perfect cut job. I could, though, on this one a little bit. There we go. So yeah, sometimes I rely on the ink a little too much. And I'm like, But yeah, when it was green, I tried to do a little bit of green. If it was pink, I did a little bit of pink. Just to help it remove some white or give it a little bit of dimension. But I wasn't relying on the ink to, completely remove stuff. Okay, so let's try this. We're going to go this one here. We're going to go this one here. I like the idea of, do we want to go that way? Oh. No, I thought maybe because she was taller, it would go here to cover up into that a little bit. Then we could go, and it still leaves me a gap. Now, if I move it over a little bit, we put the, now this one I can let pop up if I want, because there's nothing blocking it. And I can even do this to where it lays accordingly. We move it over a little bit, and I get, that might actually work. How much do I need? All the way down? I want it that. Maybe. And well, it just happens to have the right spacing I sort of want. So I think this is going to go down, and it's going to be my guide to where everything else is going to go. Don't get too much. We want it sort of flat across the bottom. I did notice that I'm really sorry if I seem to be a little muffled. Last time, I think I had my head down a lot. I keep forgetting to put my head up and talk up to the camera a little bit. I don't know. I was really excited, but I had a mild headache too, and so I probably was not projecting my voice as well as I should have been. And the phone does record pretty well, and I got my video up last week, but I almost didn't. I had to revert back to my program like 2 versions older just to get it to upload and download the way I needed to upload the video or download the videos into the program and then, upload them back up to the, in and out of the computer program. And I don't know, it was a little on the crazy side last week. I mean, I got it. It was good. I'm really glad I'm doing I'm also glad I'm doing a later start date or start time, because now I'm noticing, I need a little bit more time. Something like that, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's going to be really pretty on the front. And then knowing there's more stuff on top, it's almost like there's stuff stuffed into the front as much as it is going to be into the pocket itself. So I really like that idea of collaging stuff onto the front of the pocket and then stuffing more inside it. And I think that's a really awesome idea also. So we'll save this and we'll stuff it in with everything else. We'll use it as I originally intended, which was to stuff things in there. And that makes me happy too. So here's the fun part that I don't completely mess up. I always lay it out the way I want to. Then I go, how do I backtrack and not completely forget what I did? Right? All right. So we are going to do it sort of in sections too. So that maybe that'll help. Oh, I had a piece of paper somewhere. I had a piece of paper here. Yeah. So let's see. So what are you designing? What are you creating these days? We're getting into March, which means we are... See, this one's just coming up shy of daylight savings. Okay, so this upcoming weekend. So this is a Thursday. So I know this upcoming weekend we have daylight savings. Oh my gosh, right? And then in a week from that we have spring. That's just mind-boggling to me that before we know it, spring will be officially here and daylight savings is here. I don't know what the ordeal will be for the, what about a slight angle? Don't know exactly how it's going to pan out for weather. I'm really hoping actually that, because I'm keeping this, I am just using right now just because, sorry, I'm not in the mood to play with my, I'm not in the mood to stress out with my, glitter glue. Since I am keeping this and this is not something let's not do that. I'm not giving this away. I'm not giving this away and or selling it. I'm using my glue stick right now. I will go back in if things start popping up like you just saw happen. I will go back and touch it up with a glitter glue. Sometimes I almost rather do that. Start with one and then fine tune around the edges with the glitter glue because it is a silver. That silver tip is so skinny. I can sort of get it up under these things. And I feel better about it. So, anyway. Yeah, so we're getting into all kinds of wonderful... There's a date on that. That is sort of cool. Is it 1883? Yeah, that was another reason why I took these. Because they were of a really cool date. I don't think I'm going to go up with that one. The date on them was a little older for the Jane Austen era. But they were also like... They were still antique, right? We're still in the antique mode. We're not quite in the... We're not yet into the vintage mode. We know this one goes down, so I can do that. And maybe I'll give it a little bit of a... See a little bit up there. Just we see like a little bit over here. So there's not so much of that corner showing up. Yeah, so with spring coming and daylight savings, which means for some of us... more hours of daylight. I don't know if that helps or not. Sort of like winter at first because it's dark out and I can we can have dinner sooner. But then it's like, oh gosh, dinner needs to be ready. I feel like dinner has to be ready sooner. And at first, daylight savings will totally throw me off and it'll be light out and I'm thinking it's not as late as it is. So that's going to goof me up. So either way, I don't win. I don't win either way. So I love that that's this way. It is opposite of that, which is sort of cute. I want to make sure that that's the way I want to. Yeah, there we go. We'll make that work. All right. So yeah, what are you guys creating? Are we creating journals? Are we creating folios? Are we creating notebooks, journals, like this, just spreads, pages? Are you working on something big? Are you working something small? I hope you will share. If you're new to my, oops, I forgot to turn that off. Okay. If you're new to my channel, I do have a Crafters of a Jewel design. And that is where those who have purchased a lot of my stuff, or even just first time you've bought one of my kits, you can get invited in or asked to join. And it's over on Facebook. It's my Facebook group, the fans of visual design, but it's Crafters of Visual Design, because I'm hoping those of you who use my kits will share your designs, will share your creativity. What did my kits inspire? What did you make to give away? What gift did it, create? I am a print girl. If you go back to the beginning, especially if you're new, I am a girl who has always had a love for creating things in the design world that can be printed, that can be held in your hands when you're all said and done. And I am not big on web. Not big, virtual. I've learned to be virtual. I've learned to put all this stuff out there. I love the fact I can provide you guys with digitals that you can print on your own when you're ready, on whatever you have, whatever ink you have, whatever computer you have, or actually whatever printer you have. And you're able to just enjoy the designs from the comfort of your home. That makes me extremely happy. And I've already inked this. I've already inked this, and I did trim it up just a little bit so I could offset it. Like we did down here, there's a little bit of a lip, so it sits inside the base of the pocket. And yes, this is lighter than this, but because there's so little of this showing, you almost can't tell. I'm like, yeah, you almost couldn't. Now this, I have to do that. The other thing is, I think I'm going to go partially up with it because I don't want these to fall through, but I also don't want them to fall down or fall out. So I'm going to do a little bit of both. I'm going to go up the sides because these are small things. I'm not worrying about putting a journal in them, a journal card in them of any sort. We are going to give it a sort of a stopper. Yeah, I've always been one that just likes to see what I've created in my hands. And when I first started, it was, for advertisements for newspapers. It was work that was sent to a printer. Business cards, brochures, flyers, fundraising moments. So flyers and stuff, brochures. I got into the small business world where I would help small businesses get their logos and their business cards and their price lists and brochures and all that out to the world. Because when I started this 20 plus years ago, we were still in a print world, in a world where everything was still handed out, mailed out, dropped off. We went to business expos, we went to craft fairs, we went to everything to sell our wares. And I forgot. I was debating on whether to put a notch here, but I don't think I'm going to. Well, it doesn't matter. Now it's down. I really don't think I would do, because I think it would hinder what we just spent all that time doing. And I'm so glad I have the words, the yellow. I'm glad we put something a little bit brighter here. And I like how that panned out. Woohoo! Okay. So, if we really want to make it stand out, then we can put more color behind it. Yeah, I'm just a girl that prefers print. And so to be able to provide you with something that you can print out and that you can share makes my heart spin, makes me really happy, because I want to be able to share with the world. And I did that just right. Ooh, look at that. Okay, look at that. Oh, that's so cute. You got flowers, you've got a card, you've got the book, the carriage. You really can't tell what the carriage is until you pull it out, but it's sort of cool just for a nice pop of a different color. We've got some, gray and black in there, and then we have the words behind it. So I am really glad we collaged and clustered the front to sort of extend out the look of what's tucked inside. Now, with all of that, I don't think I'm going to corner this. I think it would actually look a little funky. So we corner this. This is straight with a scallop here, straight here, scallop up here. So I think we're good. All right. Oh my goodness. I was going on and on about the whole print thing. Why was that? Cheese and crackers. I don't know what was going on about. Besides the fact I am a print girl, I like the print world. I'm really stoked that I've been able to find a way, like I said, to be able to let you guys do this. Oh, I don't know. Well, the craft world, Crafters of Jewel Design, share what you have. Oh, it just makes me happy when I get to physically see at least photos of what you guys create. It kills me that I have no idea what you guys are doing with my kits. My mom and Gail are the only ones. There was one lady, Brenda something. I'll have to look her up. She did a winter journal. She did a journal with my winter kit last year. And she showed that off in October. It took a couple months for me to find out. Someone shared it with me, and I went, "Oh my gosh!" And so I went, now I follow her because I always wonder if she's gonna get a bug and pull out one of my old kits or something she bought from me and do something. But if you guys don't share with me on, say, the Facebook group or tag me on Instagram, something, I never know what you guys make. I feel like my things are just sold to the void, and that's it. That's the end of it. They get sold, and I know they get downloaded, but I never know what you guys do with them. So if you're new, go find Crafters of a Jewel Design, or find a Jewel Design on Facebook, and then go to my groups within my page and ask to be invited, or mention it here in the comments that you want an invitation, and I will more than happy to, especially if you've bought my stuff, I'll go find your name, in Etsy or whatever, get your emails and stuff, and I will invite you over. I'll get you a link. Come on over and play. I want to see what you guys do, because it's so sad that I never get to see, except for my mom, which makes beautiful things, and Gail when she gets a moment to do a journal. And I said, I really don't, occasionally Amy with Crafty Cat will use a couple words, but I don't get to see much of anything. So anyway, I really want to know what you guys are up to, what you've created, who you've created it for, or what's going on. My only worry is that I feel like it's a little, and it probably is because it's not glued all the way. It's a little weird, but like I said, this is for me. So that's the only thing I noticed. If you glue this down, then this sort of pockets up a little bit, which it should, because it makes it easier to get things in and out of, but I don't know. It's up to you. I did it so things wouldn't fall into the pocket, because we're not going to see it. Now, if we had the window here, of course, you'd only glue at the bottom, because we'd have larger things that we want in there, or maybe I would stick the flowers all the way in and put the cards behind it and stuff like that. So depending on how you use this scalloped pocket, whether it makes it a window like this or whether you leave it as just a front and you decorate on top of it. So either way, I think makes for a wonderful, I know I just keep playing with this. I'm going to regret that because I'm going to break that thing off. But I definitely feel we need to put something here. I feel like something needs to go there. What do I have? I feel like we need to put something there. I don't know if just a single rose is enough, though. It could be, though. Yeah, I feel like something needs to go here. Because it feels like it's missing something. And a friend of mine just did stickers. Made wax seals and then scanned them in and made sticker sheets out of them. And it's like, I wish they were the right color. I think they're too springy, but we'll see. I may have to buy them just to put that on there. Okay, before I waste any more time, we're into the 30-minute mark. Definitely, but look, this page is done. At least for the basics. We still need a cluster here. We still need to decorate here. Possibly decorate this little tag, and we need to put, like I said, a label and the doohickey down here. Doohickey. Jeez, my fussy cut, little bowl of fruit down here. But those are the things I'll probably do off camera, because I would not get very far if I had to do it on camera. Not in the least. Okay. And these guys, I was debating on putting over here. So we are going to move over. Let's get this big one put together. There was instructions and an example of how this should work. And I'm going to move over because I have a feeling I'm now... Let's look. How are we doing? Yeah, I want to make sure that we are... Yeah, 35 minutes in. And let's see if we can get the bases of this one put together. And that might be that and call it a day. And I will have to do... I probably will have to do one more with a reveal. So we'll see. I am going to have to... I wanted to show you the funky little doohickey I was going to make, but... That's a journal card. So I did take my last background page and I folded it in thirds. Okay. And I figured that would be because I have nothing big enough to put in this thing. So I'm so glad also I shrunk this down so that the newest blue tag that I added at the last minute will fit in the smaller version. So my normal size large journal tag will fit in the smaller 8-inch tab. So anyway, I decided I'm just going to fold this in thirds, put it in here, and I'm really glad I did now because now I can use it as a massive journaling moment and tape things to it and glue things to it or whatever and put it in here for safekeeping for my weekend. And then this journal card's going to go in there, so it gives me more writing space. So all good. Now, as I mentioned here, the instructions are the same. Nothing changes in that sense on how this was put together, no matter how big it is. So this is a B is actually the little flap that goes on top of C, which my bad. And then D, of course, also gets glued onto C, and all of it gets glued onto A. So I really should have gone A, B, C, and D, but why not? A and B, these are on one page, these are on another. So that's how that sort of panned out. Let's really quickly, I think these are going to be gray for sure because a lot of this lends to gray. And I don't think I want vintage on this. The stuff that goes in it might, but I love when I have blues and stuff to go towards my silver. Or, I mean, it's not even silver, but it's hickory smoke, and I love because it's an oxide. It's a little shinier, a little wetter looking, and I get that sort of silvery look out of it. And that's my personal preference there. Since I have gold ink, but I don't think I don't have silver. And when I went looking for silver at the time for Christmas and my winter journals, I couldn't find any. And I was happy with the Tim Holtz, so I had to try to find the one that looked the closest to a potential silver, and I was a little worried at first, but I've loved it. So the gray brown that I put, the taupe, I think it would be taupe, but gray brown that I put as a distressed digitally, you can put your vintage photo on it and make it more brown, or you can do like what I'm doing now, and I'm putting the hickory smoke over it and making it more of a gray to silver distress. So I love that does go both ways. I don't have to pick one or the other. So, and this is the one thing with this kit. If you're using the yellows and pinks, you either do pink, like Lorette did, or you can do the vintage photo and, you know, really pick up the brown tones, the warmer tones in these pages. And then, of course, when you have the blues and the creams, you could do the silver. But that is a little bit of mixing. Or that's another one that's toast. That is mixing, of course, your silver and gold. Silver and gold, silver and gold. Sorry, that's definitely Christmas. Yeah, so totally up to you. If you can mix them, go for it. I totally encourage it. And I think these already got distressed when I made them I believe I made them up on part 2 on the reveal day. So they have all their goodies. Okay, so I definitely did suggest, though, that you do glue everything onto C first, and then glue it onto A. Now, unless, of course, you're altering A in any way, then A and C in any way, then, of course, you want to be careful. Now, with this, because it's larger in the way I did it, there are definitely... I did not notice that. Definitely some things that get covered up. But what I am noticing right now... I'm filming. That you do sort of lose a little bit of the rose, and you do lose the butterfly on the top. But That's okay. I knew we took our chances when we did that. Now, if I'm going to keep to the same look as over here, I need to actually trim off the side a little bit and re-stress it so that it sits inside the pocket like we did with everything else. Sorry, that was hubby, which is a rarity for him to be home while I'm filming. I'm not sure what was up, but I won't be here too much longer, so I want to get the base of this done. So yeah, if we're going to keep to the same look, I trimmed it, not straight, of course, because I don't cut straight, but we're going to have it sit just inside it, so we have sort of that beveled edge look. But this is your bottom pocket. So decide which way. You could go either way with this. This is totally up to you. There's really no right or wrong way, except I come to find out there's cute little things in this corner. I'd have to look at the original page and see. I must have had an advertisement bit in the background. And so there's these cute little bonnets and stuff in the background, and it's super cute. I was like, what the heck is that? I didn't notice it. Oh gosh, we use so many graphics when we do these things that sometimes it is just like a white noise. It is just texture and stuff in the background. That's all it is. It really isn't anything else. And so when you blow it up and you use it, you're like, oh, there's something there. I'm silly. I know. But yeah, there's tiny little bonnets and like sort of not a handkerchief, but like a necktie for a woman and other things in there. Huh. It's part of this one. I want to see. Now I'm curious. Oh, it was the bonnet page. Yeah, it was the bonnets and the neckties. That was in the kit. There was an advertisement, and I used it in the background. I thought it was really cute. And so yeah, it's blown up right here, and I didn't even think about that one. I use the pages and I blow them up within the sizes that I need. I'll take a square and I will take an image that I want and I'll blow it up. I'll move it around. I will decide what section of it I want. Turn it on its side. Things that you can't do with a piece of paper once you print it. Once you print it, that's the size you get, right? You can't make it bigger. You can't blow it up. You can't shrink it. There's a number of times where I'll take a full-size page and I shrink it into this 5 by 3 1/4, right? Well, you can't do that with a piece of paper. Once you print it, you can't like, oh, let me shrink it down. And it is the joy of paginating these things for you guys is that I get to, so the only thing I was thinking about is do that. Now, what I'm thinking across the middle here is to make a secondary pocket in a way. It's like I make a side belly band, like a horizontal belly band to stick something bigger in. So I'm sticking something in front of it, something behind it, and then one more behind that. So I was trying to decide if I want to cut this a little shorter so that I had a little more space. I think I'm going to. This is when you get to play with it. Don't ever assume what I create is verbatim and you're done. Trim it. Of course you really can enlarge it. I mean, you could, but, don't be afraid to trim it. Don't be afraid to, turn it on its side. I mean, you saw me do it that pocket. You would think that'd be just a straight up and down pocket. And in a normal page, you would keep it up and down. Up and down. Or turn it around and you'd stick something in it from the top. But who says you can't do the same thing to your page? If the page is big enough and your items are small enough, put it on its side. Slide it inward. Why not? Now this one's going to go to the edge because it is supposed to look like as if I folded the front pocket downward and this was printed on the back. That is the style. That is what it's meant to do, is to look like you folded it back. Like you would with a tuxedo page. Antonio Makes just did that. I believe it's a he. Antonio Makes just showed you a dual pocket or double-sided piece of paper. Folded down the front when it was cut. It totally moved. Go back. Folded the top halves, downward at an angle, and you got a tuxedo. This would just be no different than if I took this, and if I was going to fold it down, right? Well, you'd have to print on both sides for that to happen. So it's a faux fold without being an actual fold, and I didn't actually have to print on both sides. So there's that. Now we're leaving it open for the possibility of a tuck if you wanted to. If it bugs me, I'll glue it down. But I know Lorette did hers on the top and she left it open so she could tuck something up underneath it if she wanted to. And that was the inspiration on hers, which I'm leaving at this point. Whether I keep it that way, it's still up to debate. So what I'm thinking is that one's going to go there. this is going to go behind it. Now the only thing left would be to decide, which is blue on blue, would be whether or not I could do the pink one or even the yellow one and put something behind it, which is why I was putting this in its place. Now I may decide that this isn't the one I want to stay. So let's quickly, I wish I could do the little one. That wouldn't work. It would limit me. I want to, and this I might have to do off camera because I don't want to spend my whole time fussy cutting this. But I want to give you guys an idea. I made these gorgeous mini and large belly band garlands. In the process of making this page and one of the others, this idea came to mind as I was duplicating and making a pattern, there we go, of the roses. This garland idea came about. It sort of was born of the idea. And so I thought it'd be great. So what I want to do, like I said, was just time it just right. And we're going to, I'll probably cut in here for you guys. I want to make a horizontal belly band across the roses to stick that in front and put something behind it. Or I'm going to just stick it in here to let it overlap. And then we can put smaller journal cards in front of it. Where'd it go? I had a smaller journal card. I have a lot of journal cards everywhere. Jeez, I have more. I think that's going in something else. Eek. Oh, here we go. I was trying to find the piece just so I could play with it, but I can put a smaller journal card in front, bigger thing in back, tuck it underneath if I didn't want it to go anywhere, right? To sort of keep this from falling out, I can slightly tuck it in and put it behind the belly band. There's something in front. I can tuck up something underneath, which I can show you. We use that little card where like I go, well, I just want to do, you know, where we have these layers of things tucked in different places. You know, I can do something like that, whatever. So I won't fussy cut that right now because we'll be here for a month of Sundays if I do that. But I will get it glued down. Too many things is why I try to keep little. Let's glue it down to here. Now what I didn't do. Oh wow. That's what she was talking about. Yes, there was a lot of trial and error to this thing, which is fine because it's mine and I can play with it how I want right now. But if I cut that, I'm going to be so bummed. So we're going to play with it on purpose. This ended up bigger than this. That was the other glitch that I had to fix, which is why this is my mock-up and it's on me and it's on my page. But yours will be fine. This will sit inside of this like we did down here, where it should be just inside. This should be just inside without any issues. Yours will be fine. You've bought it, you've cut it out, you've played with it, you know. If you're not, you're playing with it right now, and you know. It's okay. I promise. Oh, now that's a really big card. Holy moly. I went a little crazy when I was first designing this thing. I was like, oh, let's fill the page. I like designing things so it fills the page, but I also want to put as much as I can on that page. So, and I forget your journals. Our journals are only 8 inches tall because of all the printing and all the trimming. And, you know, even if the cover goes 9 tall, doesn't mean the pages are. So, yeah, we definitely, we shrunk this down to fit on a journal, I promise. You could still even shrink it down to 80% if you had a smaller journal even. Like if you did a 5x7, you could shrink it down some more. But that would require a little work on the print job. Okay. That's bugging me. But if I trim it, I have to re-glue and resize. But I feel like I need to. I feel like I need to bring it up and I need to make it shorter. Because that's going to bug me. Because that's huge. And it feels like a waste of space. Okay. So we are going to play. We're going to play a little. And we're going to keep taking off this edge because it seems to be my favorite. So we're going to go here. And we're just going to trim. Trim, re-glue, and yeah, I'm not gonna keep every scrap. Let's see, is that a little better? Let's do this first. So a little distressing and it should work. Okay. Let's distress first, then glue. That way I'm not taking a chance of. We're gonna make this work. We always do. Everything can be fixed, as Gail says. Or just about everything can be fixed. We can fix it. trim it, tweak it, twist it, fold it. And I think, because I think it's really not necessary to have all this space, I think, hold on. Watch, let me cut off my face to spite. Cut my nose to spite my face, as they say. I want to make sure that that still fits inside, but you can see the scallop. So, yes. Okay. So, what I'm thinking is that before I glue it down, we're going to score the bottom here. And we're going to fold it up. Oh, I can't, though, because I don't have anything on the back of this. And I really don't need another pocket, do I? Nope, I don't. Okay, never mind. We will not score, but we do need a pencil somewhere. Pencil, pen, something. Gotta make a mark here. There we go. So I can cut it off. And we'll hold on to that piece. Of course, because it's a scrap. So we don't give anything. And let's re-ink the bottom. So make it a little smaller so that it is not so big. I'm so glad we fixed this. My mom is my troubleshooter. She gets them, she looks at them, she starts playing with them, and usually she catches it before I release it. And she lets me know how badly we may have goofed up. Because I design on the page, I think nothing of it. And then all of a sudden I go, what did I do? And as you can see, I can't cut straight in any sense of the word. I can't guarantee. I do have a tendency of cutting outward a little bit. This is where I don't cut straight. Hopefully you guys do a whole lot better. It's okay with a little off on the bottom. It's more up the sides that bug me. Alright, let's make that work. Otherwise, it's like a bush, right? You keep trimming it, and I want to look better. I want to make it look better. And then pretty soon, you have nothing left to trim. You have no bush left to trim. Which is never a good thing. Come on, baby. I left it open. I thought I'd be gluing quicker. There we go. Is there anything loose on that one? Yep. A little bit. It couldn't have to be, but there we go. Okay, so now I'll close it up. Well, no, I can't close it up because I'm going to glue it down, right? We're going to finally finish this thing. And then probably have to call it a day. Oh my goodness. It doesn't take long. It really doesn't. When you're playing, you're having fun, you're enjoying what you're doing, sharing it. And though I try to have that other section prepped for this one, you know, I did that. Oh, gosh, I cannot go straight. Luckily, we're just putting a piece of paper down the middle. Yeah, even though I try to have things prepped for you guys, or always have it sort of, that side sort of prepped so that we could get to this side quicker. Enough done, did I? And of course, I am trying to design on top of a very bumpy. The only thing I keep in mind, if you can, maybe flip this to the back side where you have everything under the hard covers so they don't get in your way. Because I keep pressing down and I've got all these loops and bumps and fun things. Okay, there we go. We made it work. We made it work. It's all here. It's put together. You have all this gorgeous gray, pink and stuff, pink and blue. It's pretty on its own, absolutely gorgeous. You can tuck things into it if you want some contrast. I think I decided you have to do the blue on this one to give, again, more blue on the contrast, but I could decide, you know, if I wanted to match, I could have it be the blue, you know, be the pink and the blue, so it blends in the background. I'm going to fussy cut this and glue it on, so you will see that next time, which will be super fun, and everything else I could tuck into it. And then we went ahead and used a piece of paper that I folded that was printed front and back. So I can put a, you know, like a letter in there. And it matches that. So it's actually sort of pretty that way. I think that's sort of cool that we have all these different colors. But the way I glued it, that is as far as that's going to go. And that's all right. So let's glue it down. Because the last piece is actually going to hinge on its, using the envelope. And it's going to lay down and keep all of this in place. So that's sort of cool. That makes it for a fun moment of its own. So let's just glue this down with everything it's got because it is on a bumpier side. It is on a bumpier end of the page when you have both ends of the other, the very elaborate Halloween spread on the other side with magnets and books and all kinds of flaps. It's pretty bumpy. It's pretty bumpy. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me on a part 2 of the 2-page pocket spread. I am going to glue this inside of the paper so that it borders the blue, helps it stand out. And I am pressing front and back since I don't have a flat surface right now to press down on. We'll cross our fingers on that. So anyway, thank you for joining me, watching, liking, subscribing, loving, commenting. Definitely comment. Make sure you hit your notifications since I'm not 6 a.m. anymore in the morning until you get used to me being at noon or from noon to 2 now. We'll see today. This is the last week was the first week of a noon journal with me. The noon reveal seemed to go really well. I had great responses right off the bat. So we'll see how that continues to grab attention. And then, we've only done the one journal with me. So this one will hopefully be, 12 or 2. This was at 12 or 2 o'clock today for you as another journal with me. If it's being well received. Noon might be my new thing for the Pacific Standard Time. So if you're East Coast, then you're getting a 3 o'clock afternoon treat. If, you're overseas, I don't know what that gives you except for middle of the night. 10 p.m. at night, you're watching me crap. That might be a little hard. You're going to have to watch a little bit of me, put it on pause, remind yourself to watch it, and get back to it the next morning. But better than, I guess dinner time. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, I think we are at it. Yes, we are. We are definitely at an hour. And I know that makes it a little long, but I really appreciate you joining me, watching me. I got stuff all over that. Watching me, liking me, loving me, commenting, joining me, continuing to watch for me. It makes all the difference in the world when I know you're here and you are willing to participate and encourage and, share with us what you have going. So we will do one more video next week. We will do a quick journal with me. Maybe we'll do under 10 or something. I'll give you a general idea of how this pans out and then a quick flip through. If you haven't seen it or just happen to join in next week, you'll see all the goodies. So thank you so much. Love you all. Have a wonderful weekend. And we will talk real soon. Have a great day.